Hey, welcome to the Michigan Business Beat, brought to you on the Michigan Business Network. And we are remote today, actually. We are at the Renaissance Center. And we are here for the annual SBA Lenders Conference. And JD Collins is with us right now, head of SBDC. JD, it's good to have you here.
Great seeing you too. It's great to be here.
Well, and you are here in a very official capacity. Besides being an SBA program, you are today's working manager, so to speak.
We are the fiduciary and organizer of this event, and so yes, we have a lot on the line today. We are on the hook for the finances of this and all the planning, and so I got to extend a huge kudos to the SBDC team and the local regional offices of the SBA for putting this event on. It's spectacular.
Well, and I will extend huge kudos to the SBA for making a good selection, right?
Absolutely.
For a fiduciary. All right, so what's taking place here today?
We have a combination of the SBA, the lenders, and other economic development organizations coming together to really understand how the small business lending ecosystem works and how we can most appropriately put SBA funding in the right hands to really help small businesses succeed.
You know, it's amazing because people don't realize SBA, one of the primary functions of SBA is to get money in the hands of those upstarts, and usually not money that will be had by the traditional lending institutions.
It really does take a special relationship, and often, I told a story this morning about the perfect scenario. And it was a hypothetical scenario about a doctor who realized he had some gaps in the loan process that he didn't understand, so he reached out to the SBDC, and through the relationships of the SBDC that we had with the lending community, we put together a loan package that went through in about 10 days through committee, and 90 days it was approved and signed off and closed. And so I love telling that story because that is, the way it should work. And that was a hypothetical story. It really wasn't. It was actually a real story. And they closed that loan the day before the government shut down last year on December 21st of 18. And I tell that story because that's the way that it should work, and that's what we're trying to enable more of here.
Well, and that's exactly, as you say, the way the program should work. And one of the ways they bring that money availability to the market is not a bag of money themselves, but guaranteeing some of the risk out of the loan for conventional lenders.
That's right, and we have different types of loan portfolios that we see here, but essentially what this SBA lending, the 7As of the world, those are the loan types, allow for people with maybe struggles to get to the right down payment so that they can succeed with these loan packages that are being put together. And so yes, traditionally they may not be bankable, but with the support of the SBA, we can get people into loans that work for them.
So let's talk a little bit again about what's happening here. You've got preferred lenders here, right, that have booths outside that people are going to. You've got SBA outlets that are represented here and a whole lot more people who kind of circulate there. Who's attending this?
Well, we have a lot of different attendees, and I think there's one other group that we need to recognize that's here at the event as well. And those are the people that might support the loan process. So people who are good at evaluations of companies that may be able to put numbers to a business plan. And so we have a number of those different type of service providers that are part of this as well. And so who's in attendance? We have attendance from 4 different states, Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, and Ohio. And they tend to be involved in that financial capacity or supporting the financial services capacity.
So there's a lot of things that are in breakout session as well that happen here, and then right here in the ballroom, a lot of main speakers that are talking. What are some of the things they're going to be doing in these breakout sessions?
Well, the one I was really excited about this morning was more insights into the micro-lending community. And so we touch on the gamut of services throughout the financial industry at this conference, but all the way from the small to the big, from the pre and the post. Yeah. And so it's across the board as to what you'll see here today.
So it's kind of interesting, micro-lending. Let's get to that because, it wasn't too long ago a Nobel Prize was given to a micro-lender in Africa, right?
Right.
And that's really kind of a niche.
Micro-lending is a niche. It typically doesn't align with traditional big bank mentality, but it is vital to the small businesses to help them get off the ground, get that first step into a small business. And it can mean the world to them, even if it's a $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 loan, really helping them get their start.
So I don't want to dwell on the negative, but I do have to go there for a second. And that would be the number of loans that people don't make good on, because you do find yourself in a little higher risk capacity. How is that?
I don't know the terms around the default rates. We do know that there is a risk there. And the beautiful part about the SBA lending is that they take on some of that risk and take that off of the traditional banks, and that falls within the SBA guidelines. So I don't know the numbers offhand, but I do know that we at the SBDC, we do a substantial number in that SBA lending arena, and the bankers typically like it when we come to the table with the loan package, because they know that they've done their homework, they know that the strategic plans are typically done right, and as I like to call it, we come to the table with a kind of an accountant's dream when it comes to the financial package as well.
Yeah, and I will tell you, having been on many of those loan committees at those banks, that the default rate is no higher in this higher risk area.
Oh, interesting.
Because of a lot of the culling and the work that you do up front. JD, it's great to see you. It's always good. Keep up the good work, my friend.
Thank you very much.
Small business community needs you.
Appreciate the kudos.
JD Collins, head of SBDC here for the state of Michigan, and we are at the Renaissance Center today for the Michigan Business Beat here on the Michigan Business Network. We'll be right back from the Lenders Conference in just a minute.